one of the big ticket items that has come out of last night's budget announcements is the changes to how trusts are going to be taxed. So that has caused a lot of discussion already in our office regarding how those changes are going to impact our clients from the point of view of their estate planning and structuring. And I think the short answer is there's going to be some significant impacts. At a high level, from 1 July 2028, the budget announcement has been to introduce a 30% in effect withholding tax to be payable by trustees of trusts. And that is a pretty big change from the current position. Rowdy, how do you see, I know it's only been a short moment, how do you see what are some of the issues we can already see arising for some of our estate planning clients?
I think for a lot of our clients, the utilisation of trusts for working out the tax that will be paid on income that's generated off invested assets is a really big driver in how they set up their existing structures, but also how they set up their wills as well. So it's definitely going to be a bigger conversation for us to have with our clients now around what their tax planning looks like, but also other key drivers and objectives that they have in their estate plan.
Yeah, I think we can be fairly certain that trusts generally are not likely to be as tax effective as they were post-budget announcement. It will certainly then drive the conversation about, well, what are the other reasons that people use trusts? Because there are a lot of other reasons for asset protection, whether that's business risk, relationship breakdown. The other big one for our clients is for beneficiaries that have some form of vulnerability where it's not appropriate for them to be controlling their inheritance or their wealth. Those things aren't going to go away. It's just that the change in the tax treatment is going to be another factor for people to take into account.
And I think that a really big aspect of the detail of all of this will be what kinds of trusts are actually caught under these new provisions or what will come out. It's quite clear that discretionary trusts are going to be captured, but there are a number of different types of trusts, especially ones that we put into some of our clients' wills depending on what their key concerns are for their beneficiaries. So the detail of what is captured is going to be really, really crucial here too.
There is a lot of detail that we haven't seen yet, so questions will remain unanswered until the legislation's come out. One of the things, though, I think that's been not really clearly represented in the media, at least so far, is what's going to happen with testamentary trusts. Some of the media that I've seen have said testamentary trusts aren't caught. When you read the detail, that's not what it says. Testamentary trusts that are already established prior to 12 May are not caught, but everybody else from now on will be caught in this new regime. So I think that will be somewhat of a surprise to people who aren't digging right into the detail there.
And do you want to talk us through a little bit more around how the mechanism of the tax is actually going to work at the trustee level and then the beneficiary level as well?
From what we can see, the trustee is going to be taxed at a flat 30%. Sounds a little bit like corporate tax rate, which you would get franking credits for. Here, you're not going to be able to pass through the credit of that 30%. So what that means in practice is that if you're distributing to a beneficiary on a lower than 30% tax rate, there is no real benefit for that. They don't get any refund like they would for, say, a franking credit. We do know that there are some other exemptions from this that have been quite clearly stated. So deceased estates is one. Deceased estates being treated differently from the actual testamentary trusts that fall out of the will, and special disability trusts and charitable trusts, which are another significant part of vehicles that our clients use, are also excluded. So what I think it means from here on in is a bit of watch this space. There will be questions around more nuanced trusts like life interests, protective trusts that need to be worked through once we've got the detail. But I think, that it certainly flags a very different environment and changed approach of how we're going to need to address trusts in lifetime and estate planning.